Our world is full of mysteries. Mysteries that leave us asking questions which will probably never be answered. Questions like, what's out there in the far reaches of space? Are aliens real? Will Todd Howard ever move on from the creation engine? I can actually give an answer for that one, and that answer is no. No, he won't. But I guess somewhere down the line, we as humans got bored of trying to solve these mysteries and instead just decided to make up our own BS. So then, we started asking questions like, what if there was a big gorilla person that walked around in forests and did nothing? What if there was a big moth person that flew around in the sky and did nothing? And what if there was a big sea monster that swam around and, guess what, did nothing? These kinds of things would be labelled as myths, which, to put in simple terms, a myth is basically a thing that a lot of people believe exists, but there's no definitive proof of it actually existing. These kinds of myths would eventually spread into different subcultures, most notably video games. Now when you clicked on this video, you probably expected that I talk about things like finding Bigfoot in GTA San Andreas or unlocking Luigi in Super Mario 64. But trust me, I put the word dumb in the title for a very good reason. The ones I'm talking about in this video are just so goddamn stupid that I find it hard to understand why anyone believed them. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm not. You can form and express your own opinion by the end of this video. I think there's no better place to start than to talk about a hoax that straight up admitted that it was a hoax. This is Rankles the Otter, who was supposedly a secret unlockable character in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now before I actually get into what the hoax is, I just want to point this out. What the hell is wrong with his feet? Seriously, how is he even supposed to walk on them? Weird feet aside, you may be wondering where this article comes from, and to answer that, it actually comes from a UK version of Sega magazine, specifically from issue 11 of the magazine. At the top of the article, it reads, "Find Rankles and win £1 million." Just below that is a picture of Rankles and instructions on how to participate in the competition. There is one thing, however, that is worth noting, and it comes at the end of the instructions. To quote directly from the article, anyone who sees Rankles should call Alcoholics Anonymous because Tom guys just made him up. And we're afraid we couldn't give you the £1 million anyway. So it seems like this Tom guys fellow wanted to make it very obvious that Rankles was completely made up. But I guess even back then, people didn't bother to read the full articles. As in a later issue of the same magazine, they had an entire section just dedicated to debunking the Rankles hoax. It's funny really, because this kind of proves that you could make up the most obvious lie in history and people would still be stupid enough to believe you. Anyway, that's all I really have to say on the whole Rankles hoax. It was just a dumb rumour that spread because people couldn't be asked to read anything longer than a single sentence. For this next entry, I want to start by asking all the early 2000s kids a question. Did any of you ever play Webkinz? For those who are unaware, Webkinz is basically this online pet game where you, well, look after pets. But part of what made Webkinz unique was how you adopted the pets. In order to adopt a pet in Webkinz, you would need to go to a real life store and buy a plush toy of the pet you want. Because on the tag of the plushie is a code, and if you input that code into the Webkinz website, you can adopt the pet in-game. That information isn't really relevant, I just thought it was kind of interesting. The game received a steady yet massive rise in popularity throughout all of 2007. But along with this newfound rise in popularity came a bunch of kind of fucked up rumours. The most infamous of these rumours being the Webkinz Killer. You've probably already figured it out by this point, but this rumour suggests that there was, or is, a serial killer in the world of Webkinz. And he wouldn't be trying to kill you per se, but rather your pets. The rumour also stated that the killer was actually one of the characters you can meet and talk to. The most popular suspect was Dr. Quack, who runs the clinic in the game world. These rumours mentioned various different ways that Dr. Quack would kill your pets, with the most popular method being that he would straight up just take a chainsaw to their neck. Another popular method was that he would give you a pill that he claims would be medication for your pet's illness, but when you actually give it to your pet, it straight up just kills them. Some rumours suggested that there are actually specific triggers to get him to kill your pets, from playing the game at midnight to clicking the eye chart on the wall like 30 times. There was also another similar rumour around this time, which stated that one of the characters would send a box to your in-game home, and if you opened the box, it would reveal a bomb that would destroy that home. These rumours spread so far that Gans, the company behind Webkinz, had to publish a statement on the official Webkinz website. Shortly after this statement was made, rumours of the Webkinz Killer began to slowly die down, and now it remains as a small but interesting part of Webkinz's long history. I think the perfect way to follow up this entry about a weird occurrence in an online children's game is to talk about another weird occurrence in another online children's game. The game in question is Roblox, which I'm 99% certain that all of you have played or at least heard of. I've played it. In fact, I've made like 3 separate accounts and forgot the login details to all of them. Anyway, the hoax that I'm talking about in this entry doesn't really have an official name, but for the sake of keeping a sort of air of mystery, I'm just going to call it the March 18th incident. This story actually starts all the way back in 2005, before Roblox's official release. The Roblox company had made 2 accounts, Jane Doe and Jane Doe, and the sole purpose of these accounts was to just test out new features that were being added to the game. However, once Roblox had released in September of 2006, these accounts became inactive as there was no longer any need for them. And the accounts would remain inactive for, well, pretty much the entirety of Roblox's lifespan. But then, in early 2017, people began noticing some very weird things that were going on with the accounts. Namely, they were accepting friend requests of seemingly random users who had joined after 2006. It was eventually revealed that this was caused by an exploit, but that didn't stop people from spreading just absolutely stupid rumours about the situation. This rumour stated that on the 18th of March 2017, these 2 random test accounts that have been inactive for a literal decade at this point would become active again and hack all of Roblox, the games, the players and the like, effectively killing Roblox as we know it. Now I'm sure most of you watching are at an age where you can realise that this is incredibly fucking stupid. But you also need to remember that most of the people who play Roblox are children who understand basically nothing about how anything works. So for all they know, this could actually be true. This also led to just a whole lot of clickbait on YouTube with videos like, "Don't play Roblox on March 18th" or "Jane Doe messaged me at 3 AM. Because of course, it has to be at 3 AM or else people won't fucking watch it. So then, after a whole bunch of panic within the community, March 18th came and nothing happened. Literally nothing. The day came and went with no issues, no hackings, no nothing. I know, very anticlimactic, but what else did you expect? Now I want you to guess what this next entry is going to be about. I'll give you some clues. The game itself is a Mario game released for the Nintendo 64, and the rumour is all about a supposed secret unlockable character that has a green colour scheme. That's right, it's Marty the Thwomp. These rumours go as far back as the 90s, where players of Mario Kart 64 noticed that in one of the Bowser Castle stages, there was just a green Thwomp trapped inside of a cage. A lot of people found this suspicious because not only is he the only green Thwomp in the entire game, but he's also locked behind a cage. This then led to many different rumours claiming that you could unlock and play as Marty. Now the reason why I think these rumours are very dumb is just because who the hell would want to play as a Thwomp? Even when this game came out, there were like a bajillion Mario characters you could wish for in the game. But no, apparently people wanted a fucking Thwomp. Anyway, the supposed methods of unlocking Marty were very similar to the ones of unlocking Luigi in Super Mario 64. Drive around the statue a certain amount of times, drive through the course backwards while playing as Bowser, set your N64 on fire, that sort of stuff. But I don't think I really need to say this, but Marty is not a playable character in Mario Kart 64, to the disappointment of no one. Now this last entry is a story I'm sure many of you are familiar with, especially if you've seen both of my Garry's Mod Myths and Rumours videos. I am of course talking about the ghosts or dark figures that many players claim to see throughout Gmod. The most iconic example I could think of is the ghost of Downtown RP V2. For those unaware, one of the most infamous maps in Gmod's history is Downtown RP V2, which was a map that was made solely for roleplay servers. However, even as far back as 2009, many players report seeing ghosts or dark figures stalking them while playing solo. The reason why people believe that this map specifically is haunted is because of a widely spread rumour which claims that the original creator of the map had passed away due to suicide. But like I said in my original video covering this topic, I found no actual evidence to support these claims other than some people on forums saying it happened. If they are actually dead then, rest in peace, and if they aren't then I don't know why they haven't just come out and said something. But there are some people who claim that it's not just this map specifically that's haunted. Some people believe that the entire game is haunted. Many people claim that while playing Gmod, namely in single player, that you can see some sort of ghost or dark figure that just watches you from a distance. One entity that many players claim to see has been named Semper, and if you know a lot about Half-Life 2, you can clearly see that this is Gordon Freeman's model from that game. Now I don't exactly know when or where I heard this from, but I remember watching a video which claimed that Semper was actually the result of a glitch. But I can't really say for certain considering I have over 100 hours in Gmod single player, but I have never once encountered Semper or any other sort of entity. I think the main reason why people seem to believe in these sort of myths is just a sense that the maps and the world are supposed to be more lively than they actually are. The thing with these kinds of myths is that you would expect them to just sort of die out and fade into obscurity, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Even now you'll see tons of Steam community posts or comments from people claiming to have seen Semper or a ghost or a dark figure. So yeah, that's the end of this entry and also the end of this video. I know you're expecting me to go all like, thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, but I'm not going to do that. Because if a YouTuber tells you to do something, you won't do it. So instead, you can enjoy this unrelated quote from the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto. A delayed game is bad. A rushed game is bad. All video games are bad. I fucking hate video games and making them.